Imagine this. It's 1945. The guns have fallen silent across Europe. The once mighty Luftwaffe lies in ruins. Thousands of sleek Messerschmitt Bf 109s, rugged Focke-Wulf FW 190s, and reliable Junkers Ju-52 transports scattered across airfields, many abandoned in perfect condition, others battered but repairable. You might think these iconic symbols of Nazi Germany's air power would vanish forever, scrapped into oblivion as the Allies demilitarized the defeated Reich. But history had a twist in store. While most original Luftwaffe planes did meet the smelter's torch, their designs, they lived on, reborn in factories far from Germany, flown by pilots who once fought against them, and even starring in Hollywood movies decades later. Today, almost every German warbird you see roaring through the skies at air shows isn't an original survivor from the war. It's a post-war copy. Let's start with the grim reality of 1945. As Allied forces advanced, they captured vast numbers of Luftwaffe aircraft. Operation Lusty, the American hunt for secret German technology, scooped up advanced jets like the Me-262. But for the piston-engine classics, the orders were clear: destroy or scrap. Airfields became graveyards of aviation history. C-7EB-1F 9978D. 7 piles of wings, fuselages, and engines awaited cutting torches, recycled into pots, pans, and peacetime machinery. Fuel shortages and bombing had already crippled the Luftwaffe, but post-war treaties sealed the fate of most originals. Genuine wartime Bf-109s or FW-190s that fly today? Extremely rare, perhaps a handful restored from wrecks. Yet the story doesn't end in scrapyards. Enter two unlikely nations, Spain and Czechoslovakia. Both had ties to German industry before and during the war, and both emerged post-war needing modern air forces on a budget. First, Spain under Franco. Neutral but sympathetic to the Axis, Spain had received hundreds of German planes during the Spanish Civil War and World War II. When peace came, their air force was aging fast. Luckily, they held licenses to build several Luftwaffe designs. The star was the Messerschmitt Bf 109. Hispano Aviation in Seville took over production, creating the HA 1109 and later HA 1112 Buchon. The big change: no more Daimler-Benz engines. Spain fitted British Rolls-Royce Merlins, the same power plant that roared in Spitfires and P-51 Mustangs. 8B2BD, C9FD, 3E, 1D, 0D, 1F. These Buchons looked almost identical to late-war Bf-109Gs, slim fuselage, inverted V-12 growl, but with a deeper chin intake for the Merlin. Over 200 were built into the 1950s, serving Spain until 1965. Ironically, former enemies' engines powered what looked like Luftwaffe fighters patrolling Spanish skies during the early Cold War. Spain didn't stop there. They also license-built the Junkers Ju-52/3M transport as the Casa 352, and even the Heinkel He-111 bomber as the Casa 2.111, again swapping German UMO engines for Merlins. These post-war Heinkels flew with the Spanish Air Force well into the 1970s. 8B-A0C, B3CE B5 now shift east to Czechoslovakia. Occupied by Germany during the war, Czech factories like Avia and Letov had built hundreds of Bf-109s under Nazi control. When liberation came, they inherited tooling, jigs, blueprints. Everything needed to restart production. Desperate for fighters in the new communist era, Czechoslovakia launched the Avia S-199 for original DB605 engines, and then the infamous S-199 when engines ran out. The S-199 mated the Bf-109G airframe with a Junkers Jumo 211F bomber engine, wider prop, torque issues, and synchronization problems with the nose cannon. Nicknamed Mezek, Mule, it was notoriously tricky to fly. Yet over 500 were produced, equipping Czech and even Israeli air forces. Yes, S-199s flew in Israel's 1948 War of Independence, scoring kills against Arab Spitfires, 7FA-8EB, 0DB, 7BD. These post-war copies weren't limited to fighters. Czechoslovakia also built trainers and transports based on German designs. keeping the engineering legacy alive. Fast forward to the 1960s. Hollywood needed Luftwaffe planes for epic war films like Battle of Britain. Originals? Too rare and precious. Solution: buy surplus Spanish Buchons and Casa 2.111s, paint them with swastikas and crosses, and let them dogfight Spitfires on camera once more. Dozens of Buchons appeared in the 1969 classic, their Merlin growl dubbed over with Daimler-Benz sounds for authenticity. Today, the warbird community thrives on these survivors. Most airshow BF-109s are restored Buchons or S-199s derivatives, flying testaments to resilient design. Back BA 7F160B, the roar you hear at Reno or Duxford, often a post-war copy keeping the spirit of the Luftwaffe alive, not through conquest but through sheer engineering brilliance that refused to die. So next time you watch a Messerschmitt dive across the sky, remember, it's likely a